Hi everyone, this is CA Hardik Thakkar, and in this video we are going to continue understanding the capital gain. Okay, so in the previous video I explained you the meaning of short term capital asset and long term capital asset, and when you transfer short term capital asset you make a short term capital gain, when you transfer long term capital asset you make a long term capital gain. Okay, now let us understand the tax rates. Okay, let us understand the tax rate. First I will talk about short term capital gain. So short term capital gain can be bifurcated into two parts. Either you make a short term capital gain on sale of shares, or you make short term capital gain on transfer of any other asset. Okay, so all the other assets are kept in one category and shares specifically are kept in separately. Okay, so when you transfer shares and make a short term capital gain, you will be taxed at 15%, but this 15% has now been revised, and as per budget 2024 now that rate has been increased to 20%. You will not get benefit of inflation or indexation, and the capital gain will be taxed at 20%. If you make short term capital gain on transfer of any other asset apart from shares, then that particular gain will be added into your total income, and then whatever your total income is, you will apply the slab rate on that applicable for that year, and accordingly you will do the calculation. There is a special rate for shares, and all the other capital gain short term will be added to the total income. This was about short term capital gain. Now when we talk about long term capital gain, again it can be bifurcated into two parts. Long term capital gain on sale of shares and long term capital gain on transfer of any other asset. Okay, if you are making long term capital gain on transfer of shares, your tax rate was up to budget 2023, that is till 31st of March 2024, the rate was 10%. However, after the date of budget, with the date mentioned in the notification, the rate of long term capital gain applicable for 24-25 has been increased to 12.5%. So the rate is increased from 10% to 12.5%. There is one more thing that you need to remember here in case of shares. When the rate was 10%, that is up to last year, there was an exemption provided for long term capital gain on transfer of shares, which was 1 lakh rupees. So whatever was long term capital gain, take an exemption of 1 lakh rupees, and then whatever remains as a taxable long term capital gain, that was taxed at 10%. Okay, now the exemption of that long term capital gain has been increased from 1 lakh to 1,25,000, and simultaneously the rate of tax has been increased from 10% to 12.5%. So if you are watching this video and if you are giving your exams for 24-25 academic year, you will use 12.5% as a rate of long term tax, and the exemption will be 1,25,000 rupees. Okay, for short term capital gain, if you are watching it for academic year 24-25, then it will be 20% as a rate of short term capital gain tax on the transfer of shares. So I hope this is very clear to you. Okay, now what about long term capital gain on transfer of another assets? It will be calculated using a formula, and it will be taxed at 20%. It will be taxed at 20%, but there will be a benefit of indexation. The cost will be adjusted with inflation, and after that your capital gain will be calculated. Okay, so now I move on and proceed to explain you the format of calculating capital gain. Okay, if you want to calculate short term capital gain, the formula is very simple. First you take sale consideration. From that you reduce any cost of transfer that you are incurring. Okay, you reduce cost of transfer, you get net sale consideration. From net sale consideration you reduce two things. First is your cost of acquisition. Okay, at what cost did you acquire the asset, you take that, you reduce it from net sale consideration. And there is one more thing that you will reduce, which is your cost of improvement. Cost of improvement means if you have done any renovation, major overhauling or repair expenses which has increased the selling price of that particular asset, so that is called as cost of improvement, which you can reduce from the net sale consideration. So after you reduce these two items, cost of acquisition and improvement, from your net sale consideration, the difference amount is your capital gain, which is your short term capital gain. Okay, this was about short term. Now when we discuss long term capital gain, the format is exactly the same, only there is one twist in the calculation. Okay, you take sale consideration, you reduce transfer expenses, that is net, then you get net sale consideration. From this net sale consideration, you reduce not your cost of acquisition but your indexed cost of acquisition. Indexed cost of acquisition means your cost of acquisition adjusted for inflation. Okay, because imagine buying a property in the year 2002-2003 and transferring that property in the year 2024. So if you are transferring your property in the gap of 20 years, friends, you will agree that because of inflation, the cost has risen so much that it would be unfair to compare the selling price of 2024 with the purchase price of 2003 or 2004. So to accommodate for the change in this cost or change in the value due to inflation, we take something called as indexation benefit. Okay, that indexation is a number which represents the rising in the prices through inflation and other factors. Okay, these numbers are already calculated and given to us. So academically for us, we just need to know how to apply those numbers. Okay, we don't have to go into the detail of calculating those numbers. That is done by people who have done actuarial sciences. Okay, and those people who are very good with the calculations, and there's committee which decides that what will be the inflation adjustment factor. Okay, so you need to apply that number which represents the inflation of that particular year. The inflation index starts from the year 2001-2002, which is also called as a base year. Okay, so the inflation index of base year is 100, and accordingly every year the number keeps on increasing, 133, 148, 172 as the year rises, which represents the inflation of that particular year. So what is the formula that you use for inflation index? Cost of acquisition multiplied by inflation index of the year of transfer divided by inflation index of the year of acquisition. Okay, so your cost adjusted with inflation will give you indexed cost of acquisition, which will obviously be a higher amount compared to your original cost. Then you do the same thing for cost of improvement, that is your indexed cost of improvement, right? So indexed cost of improvement means cost of improvement multiplied by inflation index of year of transfer divided by inflation index of the year of improvement. So when you do that calculation, you remove index cost of acquisition and index cost of improvement from your net sale consideration, and then whatever profit remains, that profit is your net long-term capital gain. Okay, if you want to save on your amount of long-term capital gain tax, you can make certain investments like buying a residential house property or investing in bonds like NHAI, National Highway Authority of India, or a Rural Electrification Corporation. You can invest in these bonds. Okay, but you have to make the investments within the eligibility criteria that is given in those particular sections. Okay, section 54 to be precise, and then when you do that, you will be able to claim certain exemptions, and after that the amount that you get will be your net taxable long-term capital gain. Okay, so this was about the format and more things about capital gain. Okay, so the practical part of it we will cover it in the class and in the upcoming videos, but as of now this is what I wanted to cover. I hope this is very clear to you, and thank you for your time and attention. I'll see you guys in the next video.